Straight up and down, yo. Marvel's Black Panther is overrated. And that's a fact. That's not even an opinion. There's irrefutable proof that this is the case. And it's evidenced by the sheeple that went crazy about it when it came out. You know, because as a kid, everybody wanted this to happen. Everybody wanted Black Panther to have his movie. We read about him in the comics. We saw him pop up on the cartoon shows. And we were like, yo, this needs to happen. And especially when X-Men came out and they introduced Storm. And they were like, okay, so Storm's here. And we know eventually she gets married to Black Panther. So we're letting this happen, right? And then later on down the line, we realize when we get older and figure out how business is, Fox didn't own that character. They couldn't do it. Marvel had it still, and we all know the story about that. So even if they wanted to, they couldn't. Okay. So we thought it was an impossibility. Then Marvel comes out, and then we was like, okay, it can happen. Then Civil War is announced, and he's announced, and we're like, it's happening, son. We got this. He's finally getting a movie. I was excited as much as anybody else was because I'm excited about all these superhero movies, yo. I love this stuff. So, but yeah, I had my own triggering. Yo, when the movie came out, son. And everybody was going crazy. And I'm like, when you see the headlines and seeing people say things like, this is going to be the first black-led superhero ever. I'm like, wait, ever? Did you just say ever? Or in a long time? Did you just say in a long time? This may be the highest grossing one. Yeah. But not because it's Black Panther, it's because it's Marvel, number one. But, son, we've had black superhero movies. Even in the horror days with blaxploitation films and all that, up to the 90s with Blank Man and Meteor-Man and Steel. Although Steel sucked to many, but it was fun for me. Still. And I'm sure I'm missing some in between, but most recently, Blade. And the best part about Blade, for me, is his race had nothing to do with the character. It was just his character. And he was a character that black people could relate to because he was black. But it didn't have to bring all that PC, SJW BS because this was before that was happening. That didn't have to be there. Just like the X-Men movies when Storm showed up. It was just about a superhero, which blacks can relate to because he was black. We can dress up like him. No problem. We got our own. Yay. That's how it should be. Not pushed. Right? So, how is he overrated? He's overrated because straight up, he wasn't the first. And people started acting like he was. And then you get in a debate as to why, when somebody brings up, whoa, he's not the first, and in recent memory, people can only bring up Blade. So they say, but we had Blade, but then their retort would be, oh, no, but he's from Africa, and he's been in comics for even longer, and we've been waiting for this for a long time, and this is about the people, and where we're from, we can relate more. Can you now? You can relate to Black Panther. You. Not an actual African from Africa. But you, who are descendants of people, me, who are descendants of people, I can't relate to that part of his life. I could only relate to the fact that he's black and so am I. Not the whole African thing. Sorry. Yeah, I can't. So, bullshit. yo, I would hear like, no, 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 you're not about it. That's why, because truth of the matter is, he's not 100% black. And what I mean by that is he was created by a white guy, Stan Lee, the legendary Stan Lee. Based on what I'm saying here, don't think I'm downplaying Stan Lee. I'm grateful for its characters. But people need to realize that, he wasn't really about that stuff, as we were led to believe. And I learned this recently. I forgot what channel I was watching, but it turns out this whole Malcolm X, Martin Luther King thing with the mutants and the Brotherhood and the humans and all that was an afterthought. That was a subconscious thing, and he actually admitted it when people started to relate the two. It just so happened to be, and he rolled with it when those days came along with the civil rights and stuff like that. But really and truly, he's just making a comic book about people with abilities who happen to be different and who were being discriminated against. It had nothing to do with the civil rights movement. It had nothing to do with comparing Charles with Magneto, X versus Martin Luther King, all that stuff. No, that was an afterthought, because really and truly, Magneto's just a typical bad guy of those days. No thought was really put into him like that. It was just all cosmic and extraordinary, and that was it. And not until that correlation was made from outside the comic book industry that Stan Lee decided to roll that way. So you guys should look that up. So don't think this character was about that, because a lot of the characters of color, not only in Marvel but DC as well, was so for the sake of inclusion. It wasn't about let's be about that. No, inclusion, which means more sales of people of other races and stuff like that, and we could keep this rolling, and make these characters the best they can be, the greatest they can be, and maybe sprinkle in a bit of that civil rights stuff, just to keep them there. But nah, it wasn't 100% about that, and neither was Black Panther. So you sheep who actually went on TripAdvisor because you're so mind controlled by all this, by being PC and all this crap, who are mind controlled to a point, and this is true, that you guys actually went to TripAdvisor and actually searched for tickets for Wakanda, a fictional hidden city. You actually went and crashed the site trying to buy tickets for the place. Now, there's nothing more sheeple than that. There's nothing more mind control than that. And all y'all doing that X symbol with your hand. You can't find a real person to emulate like that. Because this is life now. Y'all made it life. And the character wasn't even made from a black person. He wasn't created by a black man or a black person. No. Y'all went hard body on the dude, and it's like, there's more, and there's more better than him. This may be Marvel's best black character, but that's subjective. But DC's got a whole bunch. And, if y'all are really about it, if y'all are really about the comic book superheroes, especially you black sheeple, you would have gone to look for more. You would have prompted up more of them. Not just be happy to see that some white guy actually put them up for you. That they actually created one for you. Again, I keep referencing Malcolm X. Like he said, this is never legit, black movement it's never legit, because there's always something behind it, when there's always some liberal Caucasian paying for it or behind it in some way or form. Because you're celebrating this character as if just because of a white man's creation, his imagination, and his own research, you're celebrating this guy hard body. You know who you should be celebrating hard body? You know a comic book creator you should be celebrating hard body? The one I do. Dwayne McDuffie, rest in peace. Dwayne McDuffie has a slew of black characters that got no shine. The only one who got shine was Static. Yeah, Static from Static Shock. He got his just due. The only one. And I'm surprised nobody else went into looking at, is this, no? You guys thought it was DC, huh? No. It was a Milestone. It was a subsidiary, if I'm saying the word right or the term right, of DC Comics. Milestone Comics was just pure black created characters, yo. And they were so awesome that in recent years they melded the universes to make them part of the larger DC universe. So you got all these people. I don't hear anybody asking for that. Once in a while you hear somebody saying, yo, we need a Static movie. Not just him. Yo, look up all the other guys, man. Especially if y'all, and this reminds me of this big push that I'm seeing on Twitter from DC, from one of their accounts, or it could be a fan account, I don't know. But I am tired of seeing this. There's this DC Comics account that keeps showing this damn image of Michael B. Jordan as Superman. And I'm like, you guys on the left are so afraid of legacy, son, especially when it's not of color, that you will tarnish someone else's legacy just to throw your color on it. Instead of doing it on your own, creating your own. Because why the hell would you want a black Superman? Why can't you let Superman be Superman? Why not create somebody either the same level or better than Superman? Case in point, from Milestone Comics, Icon. If you read his story, yo, it's amazing. That will make so much, yo, if you get the right writers and take, like, if you can get into that story, because slavery is included in that too. But what makes it hard for me to actually want this to happen is the culture we live in now with this SJW stuff. It will make that all about what he is instead of just a part of his life, a part of his origin. And that'll be all the characters about. And he's about more than that. You know, that's my fear if you do that. But you already have your black Superman. And he's in the same universe now. Why change Clark Kent into a black guy? Or why create a Superman of another name? Why tarnish his legacy? Leave the man alone. You know, we already got our black Superman with Steel anyway. He's wearing the same S. So calm down with that and create someone else instead of changing the casting, the color, and all that stuff. Just like they did with Johnny Storm, which was retarded. Why? Nah, man. You want to celebrate black characters? You look into Milestone Comics. Start researching them and prop them up. Find out what they do that's similar to the whole Wakanda Forever bullshit. Let's do that. Not some Jewish guy's creation, someone who did it for us. Nah, man. Do your own shit. Yo, this is the thing about the crazy left, yo. It's never about personal responsibility. It's always about complaining. White man, please do this for me. White man, please do that for me. Please, please, please. Not, can we just do this alone? Can we do this on our own? Let's make this ours. But you went ahead and propped it up. Black Panther, who we didn't create. Our people did not create this guy. You want to make him the symbol of black superheroes. No, man, there are plenty. There are plenty that we haven't even touched on. You know? I'm of the same who don't want to see a Jon Stewart film in the first go. Jon Stewart being Green Lantern. I want to see a Hal Jordan film. If you're gonna reboot everything and you want to make him officially a part of the DC universe, which they're planning, you don't start with Jon Stewart. But I'm sure there are people out there, these SJWs, want that to happen. Like, no, you don't start with him. Have you read the comics? That's not right. Be true to the source material. Then do your own thing with them, maybe in a sequel or two. You know, you don't destroy legacy for the sake of inclusion. Just create your own stuff then. Create your own hero. Create your own villain. Do that. And if you can't do it, recognize that there are those who were black created that exist. Prompt them up. Because these studios want money. So show them that you will give them that money. Show them, yo, this character, we're about it. Please make this. We'll make all the fan art just to prove it. We'll sign petitions to prove it because Yo, there are some movies that were made that way. You know, because the people spoke. So black people out there, why don't you do that? Try that. Something black owned. Then that way it won't be overrated. That way we won't look like fools by looking for a fictional city that straight up doesn't exist, but you think it does because of a movie. Because you're so blinded by this PC, slavery, all this stuff. Because of that, you just rushed into this. And that's all y'all do. So let's calm down, yo. Yo, it was the funniest thing I ever heard. I thought that was a lie. And then I looked it up. I was like, yo, these people actually did this. And I'm supposed to take these people seriously when they start complaining about racism and all that stuff. When they see it everywhere. They see it everywhere. Where it isn't. Then you start you go after people who weren't. But because of a misunderstanding, they're guilty all the way. Right? We should be focused on the legit racism. Not this. Because this is race. Hell, it's funny that this is racist. Because you have the legacy of a white guy controlling you right now. I mean, rest in peace, Stan Lee, yo. You're an amazing creator. But I'm talking about the black people who are like bowing to his feet. I'm like, yeah, be happy for the characters he's created. But don't take Black Panther's law. Son, we got our own. Let's prop that up. Let's make a movie of that, please. Let's make a series of that, please. Because if it wasn't for Dwayne McDuffie, Son, Static wouldn't have even had any shine. And he still wrote for the show as well as he wrote for the comic, then he wrote for the show. And not only that, majority of the best episodes, I'm going all over the place here with these references though, but the majority of the best episodes of Justice League were written by Dwayne McDuffie. A black man in comics, son. Look him up. Prop him up. Then I'll hear you. But right now, straight up and down, Black Panther is overrated. Doesn't suck. I ain't saying he sucks. I'm just saying, yo, black people calm down. Stop following trends, all that. Yo, if you're into something, be in for it. If you're about it, yo, you're truly about it, do your research. Don't just follow what you see. Just because it was Marvel and he was black, straight away, he's our guy. Nah, man, calm down. Anyway, y'all, cheers.